Good morning. I'm doing things a little different today. This show's in honor of my late son. So a moment of silence, please.
Charles here locally in the community. Make sure y'all go check out Kneecap Body by Jeremy Campbell.
Good morning and welcome to Kneecap Biting with the Motor City Lions. It's a somber day in my history, but you know what? Life goes on. I mean, the pain will never go away, and I have to face it every day of my life. Good morning, Leonard.
Good morning, good sir.
And good morning. And I did look on Facebook to see who it is. Hello, Tina. It's good to see you this morning. One of our many Lions female fans that are out there that are actually smart and know a little football. I love it. But going into our topics today, it is the upcoming free agents, unrestricted, and more. And I actually have a little bit of this is the list of unrestricted free agents. I'm going to pull the banner down so we can see the entire list. We got Tyson Alualawa, Michael Badgley, Teddy Bridgewater, Anthony Fursker, Tanner Johnson, Graham Glasgow, Charles Harris, Will Harris, Jonah Jackson, Jake McQuaid, Emmanuel Mosley, Matt Nelson, Romeo Aquara, Donovan Peoples Jones, Jalen Reeves Maven, Josh Reynolds, Dan Skipper, Nate Sudfeld, Big V, fuck that, and Kendall Vildor. And left off this list, I believe, is Julian Aquara, but maybe he's on the other list as well.
Okay.
But out of that list right there, who would you like to see re-signed on this roster? Fred Peterson comes in and says, "Good morning. It's a great day to be a Lion. One pride." You're absolutely right. Every day is a great day to be a Lion. Uh,
Okay. So there's Glasgow, Jonah, and Big V. With Big V being hurt as much as he has, I wonder if he'd take a under market value deal.
just did that. He took the under market and went to the below it, the average starter money when he restructured this last time. He went from that god awful 13 million down to 8 million. But this is a void free year. It's to cut him. There's no dead cap to cut him, and it saves the 8 million.
Gotcha.
And like I said, when all of those incentives and everything finally paid out from last season, because that takes 2 weeks to a month after you're out of the season. Um, all those incentives and the injury waiver dead caps hit, and we now have 48.3 million people. No John Cena today. This is a somber day there, Ricky. Thank you for asking, though. And I'll
Yes,
get
no
into
John Cena.
But I think Branch wants to re-sign CJ and nobody on the team other than Fred Peterson wants CJ Mosley back. And I'm just trying to be silly here.
That's because the guy's hurt all the time. If he could
Right.
actually stay healthy and play, okay, sure, you're a
He,
decent player when you're healthy.
he's now had both knees replaced due to ACL stuff, ACL surgery. So I'm in the He's an injury waiting to happen. I don't want him back. Sutton is back. He's here.
Yeah, we're sucking.
Ricky, I'm glad you enjoy it. Starting next week, we move to 11 a.m. We're taking over the Football Talk 365 spot at 11 because they're moving to 3 p.m., which I like a little better because I can have my coffee a little longer.
Man, 6, 10, 11, don't matter. I'm drinking my coffee anyway.
I know. I don't wake up till 8 a.m. though, but there's a difference. But I want to resign Graham Glasgow out of the 3 guards. He played the most this year. He was the healthiest, and he's the most versatile of the 3.
And probably going to be the cheapest.
I drink
because
coffee.
he wants to be in Detroit.
He does want to be in Detroit. He came back here because he missed being here. He missed working with Hank Fraley. And you know what? There is the thank God we didn't lose Ben Johnson. Because the rumor is if he got a head coaching job, he was taking Hank Fraley with him. So
that would have hurt.
That would have hurt. That's the part that would have hurt more than Ben Johnson. Everybody thinks, they say, oh, this offense is so great. But if this O-line wasn't this great, this team is not that great as a whole.
People don't truly understand that. JB, you want to hear an unhealthy fact of the day?
Sure.
On average, I drink 8 pots of coffee a day.
Oh, so you drink 2 more pots of coffee than I drink Mountain Dews.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that at the end of the day, if you were to take my blood, it would come out fucking Maxwell House.
No, that's okay. What is that Ricky Bobby said? I eat success and piss excellence. Well,
yes.
I eat lots of food and piss Mountain Dew.
He's all hopped up on Mountain Dew.
There. I did my bad take of the day. I always do one. But then we got the all the restricted agents. And let me get into here. We got restricted free agents: Scott Daly, Khalil Dorsey, Jerry Jacobs, Benito Jones, Anthony Pittman, and Brock Wright. If we resign any of those to a futures contract, that means they're here. On that list, because of depth, I like Jacobs and Dorsey. Burrito Jones can hit the bricks, in my opinion. He's god awful. He shows up once every 100 plays. Anthony Pittman is a good special teams player. And Brock Wright, we've seen for one play when they run it every year, it's good for 20 to 59 yards. And that's that fake play action, fake sweep left with the tight end after he chips the linebacker. The exclusive rights, which means they can go nowhere. We either sign them or they go to the practice squad on a cheap deal. Coyote Awasika, James Houston, Donovan Knight, Chase Lucas, Craig Reynolds, and Shane Ziltra, because they were all UDFA rookies that we signed just 2 years ago instead of 3. In 2022 instead of 2021.
I don't like the exclusive rights ones though because they go to the practice squad on a cheap deal. So if anybody wants them, they can just go get them cheap.
No,
sign them off your team.
The exclusive rights, they can't poach them till the season, and these ones are automatically protected the first week because they're the exclusive rights. The restricted free agents are free if they're assigned to the practice squad to be poached. Take Burrito, please. King SJ pops in. Morning, gentlemen. And don't forget, everybody, I see 1 like up there so far, and it looks like it's from the Facebook side. There's 14 people watching throughout the networks. I would love it because it's free. It doesn't cost you a dime. It helps our algorithm with every platform. Go ahead and hit the like buttons, people.
Tap that screen. Pound it out. Let's go.
Yeah, I say Burrito Jones because he's wrapped up like a hot tortilla in one-on-one blocking situations.
JB hates that man so much.
I almost hate him more than Will Harris, and that's saying a lot.
That is saying a lot.
Time to order some Chipotle now. Thanks a lot, Villain Squad.
It's 10 o'clock in the morning. You're ordering Chipotle. Oh, damn.
Oh, they don't open for another 51 minutes, so you got a minute yet.
Your asshole's gonna hate you early today.
Hey, I'll tell you what. My asshole hates me early on most days because I like hot and spicy foods every night, and then I eat ice cream. So you know what I'm saying in the morning. Come
Yep.
on, ice cream.
Eats the ice cream to help with the burn.
And in other Lions news, and this is huge, because he was a rookie that had such a great year. Sam LaPorta was the first rookie tight end since 1988 to finish an overall fantasy tight end one, and that's whether it's PPR or not, people. How huge is that?
Uh, I'm telling you, I'm the only one that's not surprised. I've been singing this man's praises for 3 years now. Even when
My,
everybody said to me last year he's going to be a second round pick, oh, he's got problems, he can't block. I'm like, just watch.
on this note, go ahead and read that aloud, and I got the rim shot ready.
My stomach is strong. I hate one whole Little Caesars pizza to myself last night and didn't feel a thing. Iron stomach. Man, a whole Little Caesars pizza ain't nothing. My fat ass eat 3 of those.
The best day was my senior year of high school. My friend's grandma was visiting, and we were all there, and it was after Thanksgiving dinner that day. And she ordered 6 pizzas. The family shared one, and him and I split the other 5.
Yeah, I've definitely had some really stoned nights where we went through some food like that.
He said 3 of those. My
Yeah, I
thinking
said 3 of those.
with the lower amount of cap room we have, I don't want low risk, high reward players. We really can't afford it because when we're less than 48 million, that means we're going to have less than 30 million for free agents. And if we want him to take that big swing like he talked about in the presser, that means it's 20 million on one player. So do you really want to eat up the 20% of what's left after that?
I don't know about 20 million on one player though. If you're going to take a swing at a cornerback, realistically, you might be able to get one of the top 3 for like 16.
Well, Brian Branches came out publicly and said he wants CJGJ back, so maybe he will. Who knows? Maybe he'll sign for another team-friendly deal for a year with Detroit, or make it a team-friendly 3-year deal. Wait until next season. The Bears. Hey, we've been hearing that from the Bears ever since you drafted Fields. You guys should have never got rid of Mitch Trubisky. He got you to the playoffs 3 out of 4 years.
Yep. Dude, Bears fans are just like Cowboys, except Bears say next year, Cowboys say this year,
Right.
every year. Dude, with that being said, like I told you, I do kind of like what the Bears are doing there, and I think that with the capital they have, the cap room they have, they can make that team work.
In 2 years. I see it.
Yes.
I don't think they have the right head coach. I don't know about the offensive coordinator because it changed. So we don't know what you're going to get out of him. And the defensive coordinators showed signs of life, but is that more Everflus with him being a defensive coach?
Well,
wait. You say just get Fields and DJ Moore out of the division. If we get a better CB1, DJ Moore is not an issue because Fields can't read a defense.
I don't think he's ever been developed to, though. That's the thing. He never had to because of his athleticism.
I understand, but I trust Stevie Wonder to drive a car more than I trust Justin Fields to read a defense.
I understand what you're saying there, but I'm going to play devil's advocate here because the same shit was said about Lamar Jackson until he had an offensive coordinator that developed him and made him become a passing quarterback. And he showed this year what he could do inside the pocket when made to be there. So we don't know what Fields is going to be with this new coordinator. Maybe he gets his shit together.
Ricky Sakote goes, you did not go there. Stevie Wonder driving a car, I'm dead.
Well, if you were anywhere near him when he was driving the car, you would be.
I'd feel safer in the passenger seat of Stevie Wonder's car than being a receiver on the Bears right now. because I know Stevie Wonder might accidentally feel me in the passenger seat, let alone Justin Fields can't see him down the field. He can only see him within 5 yards. Go look at his average yards per pass, not including yak. I'm talking in-air yards. It was 2.3 yards. Ricky, y'all need to take up stand-up comedy.
Oh, we some funny guys sometimes, you know. And that's
Yeah,
even when I have my. Hey man,
Bryce,
I get laughs out of people before I take my pants off.
Bryce Ward, you're absolutely right. DJ and Komet both had their best year, and neither one of them were as good as Sam LaPorta or Amon-Ra St. Brown. Pete Fields, right where he's at. I love it. And
I,
I was dead on every window of win for every team in the division last year. I said it was 5-8 for the Bears. I said it was 5-8 for the Minnesota. And I said it was 7-10 for the Packers and 10-13 for the Lions prior to the season. And I narrowed it down to 11. And we got 12.
yep.
And that was even with Ragnow missing 6 games. If Komet didn't get hurt, he'd have. There is no way Cole Komet would have had a better season than LaPorta. You are smoking something other than cigarettes this morning, sir.
Yeah, that was definitely on some cracker. Yeah. Go look at what LaPorta did. He had a historical year, not just a great year.
The Bears will be on this high with this one.
Well, you know, you can get some stuff in Chicago.
Yeah.
And we're not just talking about STDs.
Hey, you know what? And I bet you Marv Harrison has a better year than DJ Moore because he's a better receiver overall. Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm not going to take anything away from what you guys have. Bryce, pass that crack pipe, bro. We all want to think the way you are. Komet is nowhere near LaPorta level. I was asked
And
if the Packers are the most scariest team in the NFC with all the changes they made and how good they played last year. And I said on paper, yes.
I
Oh,
don't know yet.
one game. One game. Komet got shut down for 7. You guys lost 9. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, you guys lost 9. You suck. So do my Giants. People.
I'm talking about the 7 games he played. He was not on LaPorta's level. Komet's never
No.
been on LaPorta's level. Cole Komet's a great tight end. Do not get me wrong. I know he is. I watched him coming out of college. I said, y'all got a good one. That being said, on to more Lions news.
We're
Sam
not.
LaPorta was Cole Kmet second in the offensive rookie of the year voting? If no, shut up. Because
We're
Sam
gonna go back
LaPorta,
to Lions news.
yeah, and also Jahmyr Gibbs is too.
JB,
Yeah.
we gotta go back to Lions news. Does that mean we can't shit on the Bears fans no more?
Say what?
We got to go back to Lions news. Does that mean we have to stop shitting on the Bears for a little bit?
No, you can shit on the Bears still.
Okay, good. I'd just like to point out they took Trubisky over Patrick Mahomes.
Yep. They let Allen Robinson walk, who had a bad year with Mitch Trubisky, 100%. They let him walk, and then traded up draft capital for a quarterback that didn't play but 7 games his first year?
Yep.
And had to miss 2 because he got hurt because he said the NFL was slow and that defensive end smacked the crap out of him and gave him a concussion. Montgomery leaves the Bears and becomes a 1,000-yard rusher and a +10
Touchdown.
+10 touchdown guy, which he never did for the Bears. Never once.
Nope. He went to a situation that works for his style of running behind a good offensive line.
Yeah. I mean, if you guys had an offensive line, you guys might be able to develop Justin Fields, Bryce, enter name and quarterback that sucked coming out of the draft the last 3 years.
All of them outside of CJ Stroud.
Yep.
Well, we don't know about Richardson yet. We don't know yet with him.
I don't know. But no one knew what Mahomes was going to do. All he's done. I'm saying if Mahomes didn't go to the situation he was, guess what? He wouldn't be as good as he is right now. He went to the best situation he possibly could.
100%. And anybody that ever says anything different about that's crazy. Andy Reid is arguably the greatest offensive head coach in NFL history.
Ricky says it best. Fields was a Buckeye and a Bear. It can't get any more disgusting than that.
You're not wrong.
And thank God for Ohio State fans that C.J. Stroud was developed in high school, because y'all finally had a quarterback that's relevant in the NFL.
It's funny. Rookie comes out his first year. He's already the best player that's ever come out of Ohio State.
He might be the first one that actually gets to go past his first schedule at the same first contract with the same team for a good amount of money.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's how good C.J. Stroud is. Don't get me wrong. I said he was going to be that good, but I expect this? I expected him to be above average to a good NFL quarterback. I did not expect greatness.
Go look on paper what he did. There is no reason he should not be the MVP of the NFL this year, statistically on paper.
I know. I said the same thing. He should be the MVP, the Offensive Rookie of the Year, and CMC should get Offensive Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm. And D'Amico Ryan should get Head Coach of the Year from taking the pitiful Houston Texans franchise from a disgrace to the playoffs.
And a division winner. They were the division winner. Hey, what's Ohio State's going to say when their $14 million team still gets beat by Michigan next year? I don't know. We keep losing assistant coaches out of the U of M the way we're losing. We may not have a good year this year, guys. It's scary what we've lost. We've lost our linebackers coach, our defensive coordinator, our D-line coach, our O-line coach. Sharon Moore is not being given a recipe for success.
Plus, he had, 14 underclassmen go declare for the draft?
Yeah, 14 underclassmen declared for the draft, plus the 8 seniors that graduated. It's not a good look. That's 22 players gone. Luckily,
they are a 9-win team next year.
Harbaugh was smart about one thing. He waited for the transfer portal to be closed before he took a head coaching job to not totally screw Sharon Moore.
Yep.
There's
one player, though. There's one player on that Michigan team that I'm very excited to see, though. That Orji kid.
Who?
The quarterback, Anthony Orji.
The 5-star quarterback from 2 years ago that he finally gets to start, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. He looks great. Back to Lions, though. The reason I'm basically at the end of my topics. The reason I started podcasting was the last conversation I had with my son on the night he died. You can't wait to yell, "There's an orgy in the end zone." We talked at halftime during the fail camps epic Super Bowl where they lost to the Patriots. I say epic because they lost in epic fashion. It's the worst loss. It's the worst comeback in Super Bowl history. And also in NFL history when you talk about that type of thing. I mean, the only one that was worse was the Bills when they came back to beat the Oilers with Frank Wright. Weren't they down like
Uh-huh.
1-3? And
I
everybody
don't
forgets
remember.
that one. It was god awful. It was like a 35-point comeback
Mhm.
when all was said and done. But he said, one of these days, Dad, you're gonna have to do something with all the football knowledge you have and do something with it. Have a good night, and I love you. And that's the last words I heard from my son 8 years ago today. So that's how I got into podcasting. It took me a minute to compose myself to get to a mindset where I could, but I'm glad I did. It's been the most fun ride of my life. So we can talk all the shit we want and say bad things about each other's teams and everything else. But in all, we're all still human beings. We all still have feelings. I don't get hurt by my feelings by people talking, yeah, Bright 49ers had a funny comeback in the playoffs, but it wasn't a 28-point deficit they overcome in a quarter. There's a big difference. We had a funny comeback in the fourth quarter versus the Bears, too, so I don't want to hear it.
Mhm.
Like, it was the first time in NFL history that a team that was plus 4 turnovers had lost a game they led by more than 2 touchdowns. Wasn't it something like that?
Something like that.
Just trying to remember and refresh my history there. Oh, yeah, it was the first time in NFL history. That's right. They talked about the closest was a 10-point deficit overcome in 1932 in the fourth quarter. Jeremy, it's all respect and love. Jokes on my side. I'm a Bears guy. Got to talk to some shit to a couple Lions guys. It's all good, brother. Yeah, hey,
Mhm.
talking shit about the fandom, that's good. And Bryce Moore, we should
Hey
have beat them.
JB,
They was some bullshit.
hey buddy, I gotta hop out.
Yeah, I know. You got your family coming in. Tell them all I said hi and I love them.
No, we're at the dentist. I gotta go in and deal with that with the daughter now.
Either way, you know what I meant. I knew you had something to do with it. Thank
Yes,
you.
sir. Also, I just gotta say it because I don't feel like being PC this morning. Fuck the Packers.
Much
Okay,
love,
buddy.
home.
Later. I'll talk to you later.
Yep. Yes, Leonard does live in the hills of PA. So how did you end up being a New York Giants fan? I don't know if you hear his voice, but he has that up eastern New York accent. I believe his wife is from Pennsylvania and he moved there to be with her. I'm not sure. We'll get more from him tomorrow. Yes. Oh, and just think, Buffalo comes to Detroit next season. I didn't put that up in the chat. Let me go over the home and away schedule that we got coming up. Ba, ba, ba. I got the picture in here. All right. We all know we play the three. Yeah, we are going to the game. I'm taking her. Okay, our home. Oh, yep. Our home games. Well, we have our three divisional opponents like we have every year: the Bears, the Pack Cards, and the Vikings. But other than that, we have the Bills, the Jaguars, the Rams, the Buccaneers, the Seahawks, and Titans. Oh, that went over like a fart in church, didn't it, Bryce? And then our away opponents outside of the division, and this is some bullshit too. Arizona, the fucking Cowboys again. That's 3 years in a row at the Cowboys. What the fuck? The Texans, the Colts, and the 49ers. So, what do you guys think about that schedule? I mean, I know it's a rough schedule. We have the other 7 division winners. It's a brutal schedule. Yes, it hasn't came out. I'm more interested in seeing where the games fall. Um, when I say where the games fall, I want to see how it lines up. If it ends up being brutal to start and a brutal finish with the easy middle, which is kind of what we had this year. We all said it as soon as we looked at the schedule. Or if it like starts out easy and gets brutal, or if it starts out brutal and then ends easy. I don't care how it ends up. I want to see some continuity in there. I would like to see us get easy game, hard game, or hard game, easy game every game. But for the 3rd year in the row, to be on the road in Dallas is a travesty and a horrible scheduling. Wife and I got to Thanksgiving every year. We are talking about going to Chicago versus Lions in Chicago this season. That's awesome. And when you say, hey, I want to say to Bryce, he said something about the Flint water. I don't live in Flint either. I live in Burton outside of Flint. I don't drink the water. And we got well water. So there's no bad water here. My teeth are naturally fucked up. There, I said it. That year I live in Warren off 9 Mile. That's cool. I've been down there many times. I used to work off of 14 Mile for safety glass. I shouldn't have said that, man. I got family out in Michigan. But the Flint water is mostly cleaned up. But if you track it back, it went a lot further back than 2012. It went closer to 2009. Um, when they talked about everything that was linked to the lead in the water here in Michigan, uh, they talked about Legionnaire's disease being on the uptick. It actually started in 2009, so I think 2008 was when they actually tied into the old lines that made the problem because they didn't want to update their um water treatment plant here. You're okay. You can say what you want. I get it. I live close to there. But the year I lost my son, that was February 8th. And Bryce Ward, it's horrible how they let that shit go down there out there like that for real. Well, yeah, and it's because they didn't want to update the treatment plant, so they tied back into the old water lines that they never replaced coming out of Detroit and expected that to be good. The old galvanized lead pipe. Well, anytime you hear about lead, yeah, I'm not. I wasn't going on to the politics side of it. It's more about the money side. And at that time, that was during the whole end of the exodus from the GM pullout from all the small plants closing here in Genesee County, and they were just starting to go from a negative population growth to a steady, where it was holding and not dropping anymore. Uh, so they had lost a lot of money for income due to property taxes here in Genesee County. So they didn't have the money to pour into the water treatment plant, which was going to cost 1.5 billion, I think they said, to fix it at the time. And so they tied into that so they could actually use the water because the water lines were there, but didn't understand it. Yeah. Yeah, the Pistons run a game last night on the road. And the last time they won 2 games in 1 week, you know what it cost us? The, the conference championship game. Say what you want. I think it's because the Pistons won. It's the karma of Detroit. If one team wins, another's has to lose. Red Wings and Pistons won in the same night on Saturday, and so the Lions had to lose on Sunday. He goes, "Oh shit, you're right." Yeah, I saw a meme about it, and the Pistons says, "We finally won 2 games in a row." What did it cost you? The Super Bowl. Showing Thanos with the glove. Oh, but later that year, after my son passed away, um, August 1st, 2016, I had a heart attack. And I don't know if anybody knows what happens when one part of your body fails on you, how everything else goes into overdrive. But I had a full mouth of teeth then, and ever since then, it's been 1 to 2 teeth a year, has been literally rotting out of my head. Right. I said, "Keep Troy Weaver, let him go 0-82 next year as long as the Lions go all the way to the Super Bowl." Right, I heard that, Clink turned down Harbaugh and the Chargers to stay at Michigan, and the rumor is Wink Martindale, yeah, he's being brought in for an interview this week. That's the rumor I heard. Fred Peterson says, "I'm very sorry about your son, Jeremy, but he was very right. I love what you're doing, and I love watching your shows, and that's why I'm doing it." And, I got a few irons in the works for my show as well, for positive things going forward. I'm working on correcting the grill because big things are happening with my writings because I do write about the Lions and the NFL for the South Florida Tribune because they own a publication called, the Motor City Tribune. Bryce Ward, I hope you're taking care of yourself, man. Never give up, Jeremy. Stay strong and always keep your head up, man. Losing your son in a heart attack is rough. I wish and pray for nothing but positive things for you, brother. And Ricky says, "My teeth are terrible too, man. I've been getting dental work done here lately. I've got so many bad teeth that it causes horrible pain for me. I don't ever wish tooth pain on another person." Amen, Ricky. Amen. Um, but mine, because they're basically rotting from overactive saliva glands. So they're rotting from the inside out from the old fillings that I got back when I was a kid in the late 70s, early 80s, the stuff that's bad for your teeth that we didn't know about. And so my teeth are rotting from the inside out. It's literally killing the nerve first, and then the tooth just breaks off. And it breaks off at the oddest times. It isn't like when I'm biting into a big, crisp, extra crispy Kentucky Fried Chicken. No, it's when I bite into the biscuit or a waffle or a muffin. It's been the stupidest times. I'll just go, "Oh, look, there's a tooth," and it don't even hurt. It and that saddens me even more than the fact that my teeth are breaking. Because half the time I find it in my food and I didn't even know it broke. Every now and then there's a little part of the nerve that hurts, so I got mine are rotting because I spent 7 years doing hard drugs, 4 years clean and sober today, but paying the price with my teeth. Uh, kudos to you for breaking it. I personally cleaned myself off of hard drugs. Let's see. I got to do the math because it was the Genesee Expo time of year back in '95. And my dad has the same issue. The KFC biscuits, I just get it. Those things are concrete. Only if you wait a day. If you catch them as fresh and warm as they are, they're good. Well, congratulations to everybody who took it upon themselves to clean themselves up from anything hard drugs. Um, Mine was crack, not gonna lie, and I haven't done it since '95. So that's what, almost 29 years clean now. And yes, I have other children. That's why I'm still here, and that's why I do take care of myself. Um, and Ricky, you're absolutely right. Yours was meth. Hey, I've heard meth is harder to quit than crack cocaine because of the stuff they put in it. It's so addictive. Um, the only thing I've never been able to quit is cigarettes. Frank Ragnow is a center, Brent, but Taylor Decker's been having injury issues too. You know, he misses a game or two every year because he's got an inoperable toe too. I switched to the cheaper version of Marlboro Reds. If you can find them by you, they don't taste that different. The brand is LD, and they're half the price of name brand cigarettes right now. I get mine at $55 a carton. That's pre-rolled cigarettes. That's not roll your owns, people. $55 a carton. Ragnow is pondering, and he's a Newport menthol guy. The LD menthol tastes like a Marlboro menthol, Bryce. I'm just saying, if you want to get something cheap that gets you by and gets you your nicotine, because I can't afford $110 a carton, 95 to $110 a carton. Screw that. But 55, that's tax included out the door at my local gas station. That's not even at a grocery store. That's at a gas station. I get them for $55 out the door. I'm spending 89 for a carton of red. Sheesh. Yeah. And cigars, it depends on what cigars you smoke. They're either really cheap or super expensive. There is no in between with cigars. And some of the cheap ones are okay, but some of the expensive ones are absolute ass. But I love talking football, and I'm gonna do it. Um, I've been doing it 5 days a week till the Super Bowl. You said they're called LD. I'm gonna find them if they're cheaper. Yeah, LD. I don't have a pack next to me. I can show you. But yeah, if I can save somebody some money, I don't care. I'm all about saving money. It's just like if you can't afford new tires and you need tires to get you by because yours are bald, you stop at a used tire shop. You pick yourself up some $40, $50 used tires, mounted and balanced out the door. And guess what? It's way cheaper. Oh, I understand. Switch your sweet grapes. $1.19 so far. Football is life. And but I agree. The kid that Brent talked about out of South Dakota State, he's a good prospect for the third rounder later or day 3. I think they actually have him projected right now, which is fourth rounder later. Um, Brad Holmes said a couple of things that was pretty key in his presser, and I want to elaborate on that real quick before I get out of here. I love the Padermo champagnes. I've only smoked occasionally, so the $20 hit every few months isn't so bad. He does need to stay a Lion. We can work on it all year because his contract isn't up to the end of the season. What key positions are we needing? I still say a dominant defensive DT2 to go next to Aleem McNeil, who's emerged finally as a DT1. I say somebody opposite Hutch on the D line, but it doesn't have to be at the top of the draft because the draft is like 3 guys that are really good, and then it's a bunch of meh guys that you might be able to find a gem later. Uh, Cornerback 100% is the one we need. But if we get somebody next to McNeil that's good to great, and the guy I like, the guy that fits great is a DT2 because he doesn't have to be athletic. He just has to be a run stuffer that can move the pile. Oh, Brandon Frisk, he is a tank. Yeah, I've heard of him. He'll be a late round pick, from what I understand. But if you're going to take one early in the first or second round, the guy I want hands down, and he should be available at 29, is Tavondre Sweat, defensive tackle, 6'4" and 362 pounds. Projected to have a 48 bench rep. Yeah, all of the good corners are projected to go before 20 because everybody that's below us needs corner help. And Bryce Ward says Sweat is nice. So if you could get somebody like Sweat and then hit on somebody like Frisk in day 3, that's a win-win for Detroit. Plus, you'll have Broderick Martin as a rotational piece who's still learning how to get the NFL type of leverage to get low as a defensive tackle. What hurt his development was when he was at Northern Alabama Community College. He played D end at his size, and he did know how to get low. But when he switched to Western Kentucky his last 2 years, um, he learned to be upright more because he was a true nose tackle in a 3-4. Um, there's also a wide receiver out of Miami. He's not slated to be anything huge. He's not going to go in the top 10 of wide receivers. He's not going to go in the bottom. He's just a mid round guy. Either Orlando or Rondé Gibson. Look into this kid. He's huge. 6'5", 220 pounds. He's gonna be a mid speed guy, like a 4.5 to 4.6 40. But the kid catches everything. And he's just huge and he's a contested catch guy. Um, I want a big bodied receiver. So the few edge guys that are good, they're gonna go early too. You know, everybody needs defense at the top of the draft. I've been hearing about a guy from the other side, Keon Coleman from FSU, wide receiver. He's like 6'7". And you want safety Tyler Nubin in the second round? If he's there, I want James Williams out of FSU. 6'5", 220. He started out as a corner until he had his growth spurt his junior year, and he went from 6 foot to 6'5". The kid's a 4'4", 4'5", 40 guy. He moves like a gazelle. He's got excellent change of direction. He's got good in air ball skills. But at 6'5", you don't really have to jump to do it. So, but he's played mostly defensive back. And Terrell Williams decided to try him out at linebacker because the safety room was so deep this draft. And that's the deepest part of this draft. It's deeper than the cornerbacks. It's the safety room. So there's going to be good safeties all throughout. Y- And Quan Coleman is elite from Florida State. Yes, he is. Yeah, Quan Coleman, um, or Keon, whatever, Keon, or however you say it. But it's almost that time for Russell and them to come on. We got Steve, who's been a real guy and in the Lions Villain Squad Network, watching on Football Talk 365 every day all season, whether his Packers were playing great or not. And kudos to him on being a real Packer fan. I'm going to give him a hell yeah because there isn't many of them. A Dub's another one. Wasn't Keon a spark? I think his freshman year. Jeremy wants a Carmichael at wide receiver. No, I want a better version of Kenny Galladay. And the best version of Kenny Galladay there was while he was a Lion. Um, so I want that, but better. I don't want to have one good year out of a guy that's an elite pass catcher and a route runner. I want a guy that can do that contested catch in, game out, and stay healthy. There's a few names: Christian Boyd, D tackle at UN, uh, Solomon Bird, edge, USC. Yeah, I know. There's some late round guys that are there or mid round guys that are okay. But at 29, you can afford to go for a low end second round guy instead of letting them slide because they usually don't make it to that late second round pick. That's why there's beauty in being at the back end of the first round, like from pick 25 through 32. You can move up, down, or stay where you're at. And there's not a lot of expectations there. Not like there is in that top 15. Top 15 is supposed to be where you grab that guy that changes a franchise. Um, there's higher expectations in that top 15. So, hindsight being 2020, does anybody look back and say that Gibbs was a very, very bad pick at 12? Because if there is, you bumped your damn head. Enjoy yourself today, Jeremy. I'll be here tomorrow morning for the podcast. You're very informative and do a fantastic job, brother. Thank you for these podcasts. They don't go underappreciated. I appreciate all of you. Um, so wherever you're watching at, whether it's on Facebook or at one of the YouTube pages that we go into my YouTube page, which is Kneecap Biting with the Motor City Lions. We go into the Football Talk 365. We also go into Lions Villain Squad. We go into my Facebook page, Motor City Kneecap Biters. We also go into the very first podcast I was a part of, Detroit Lions on the Prowl, because I was a admin there. I go into all of those because these are all integral. in my growth and development and how I became to where I could talk to people like this. I my running joke that I say, Bryce, and you can have fun with it, is I have a face for radio, but I do video. Uh, that being said, it is time to pay the piper. 1 year ago today, I added this sponsor. Gloss Negron, the best window tinner in Saginaw. Check him out today. Give him a call, 989-443-9240. Check him out. He also does auto detailing, but a full window tint on a car starts at about $200. Full detail starts at about 150. Mention this ad. He might be able to hook you up, make your whip look like something like this Audi SUV, or this beautiful 300 C class that I was there when he did it. To the rest of the division, you didn't win this year. So onto the couch you go and saying, much better. I sent in you. Cry like bitch you should. I don't like a host who's babbling and doesn't read comments. Thanks, JB. Thumbs up. And we should be able to get first round talent in the second round too. But I appreciate all of you. And hey, look at that. I got more likes than people watching. But try every day to be a better person than you were the day before, because that's the only way to make the world a better place. It starts within here. Much love to everybody. Whether you're a Packers fan, a Vikings fan, Bills fan, because I've had people all over that's watched my show, because on Wednesday nights at 9:30 I do the NFL Roundtable Talk where I cover news around the league. What picks do we have this year? We have 29, 58, and then we got two more in the third. Right now, the only team with 5 picks in the first 5 rounds is the Packers. Second play, Packers and Bears. They both have 5 picks in the first 100 picks. Have a good day, bro. I came across on Facebook. I'll pop in here and there. You know what? We can talk shit all we want about each other's teams, but until they meet up and go head to head, I support every team in the NFL, really. I just support the Lions the most until we face head to head. And then I'm sorry, it's forget your team. You're the enemy that day. um, I try not to go personal in my attacks because you know what? That's lowbrow, high schoolish stuff. But you know what? As much as we picked on each other, the NFC North was the second best division in football. It was the AFC North and the NFC North. Give it up for the North division. Most wins in football this year came out of those two divisions as total for all 4 teams combined. It, that just goes to show you we're not that weak ass division everybody thought. We beat up on each other so much we lose to other teams, is what it is. North side, yeah. North side. Black and blue division is back. That's right. That's what it is. Think about it. We didn't have anybody go 5-1 in the division like everybody talked about doing. Yeah, we did it last year, but last year was a down year in the division too. But Aaron Rodgers was still a Packer. They were the favorite to win the division. Bush. That being said, peace, love, and chicken grease. Make sure you tune in to Football Talk with Russell Wayne and Main Event Mike. They're coming up next. Have a great day and tune in tomorrow. And tomorrow I'm going to give you my guys that I'm putting in the offensive players of the year, the defensive players of the year, and my front office people of the year. That's coaching and front office combined. I'm going to let everybody vote, and we're doing the Leos Friday night at 9:30. So check it out. Have a great day, everybody.